culture functions. In this presentation, we are going to learn about the functions of organizational culture and how culture acts could be a liability. After going through this presentation, you should be able to identify the functions of organizational culture, discuss the cultural control mechanism, know how culture can be a liability. Culture is holistic and refers to the essence of an organization. By knowing the culture of an organization, we can know what it is like to work there, how people deal with each other, and what behaviors are predictable. Let us discuss the four typologies of organizational culture given by Harrison. Power culture. Many small enterprises and large conglomerates display the characteristic of a centralized power culture. Such organizations can be strong, proud, and dynamic, react quickly to external demands. However, power cultures may suffer from staff disaffection. Role culture. It is often referred to as a bureaucracy, and it works by logic and rationality. Its pillars represent functions and specialisms. Performance required is related to role and functional position. Task or project team culture. One can imagine this culture as a net with small teams of cells at the interstices. It is very much a small team approach to organizations. The emphasis is on results and getting things done. Resources are given to the right people at whatever level, who are brought together and given decision-making power to get on with the task. Personal culture. In this, the individual is the central point. If there is a structure, it exists only to serve the individuals within it. This culture may be the only acceptable organization to particular groups, such as workers' cooperatives, or where individuals basically work on their own but find some backup useful. Now let us discuss the major functions of organizational culture. Organizational culture may add to the goodwill and mutual trust and therefore encourage cooperation. A strong culture in an organization explicitly communicates that expected modes of behavior are accepted and others would never be visible. Shared beliefs give members a consistent set of basic assumptions which facilitates decision making. It facilitates control, which is provided by three mechanisms, namely market control mechanism that relies on price, bureaucratic control mechanism that relies on prescribed authority, and clan control mechanism that relies on shared beliefs and values. Organizational culture reduces communication problems in the organization. There is absolutely no need to communicate in matters for which shared assumptions already exist. It fosters strong identification which results in higher level of employee commitment. The perception of an individual is conditioned by the perception of others. Organizational culture helps organization members make sense of their behavior by providing justification for it. Organizational culture helps the newcomers imbibe the culture of the organization, which may involve changing his or her attitudes and beliefs to achieving an internalized commitment to the organization. Organizational culture facilitates creation of an appropriate work environment. Organization culture cannot suddenly change the behavior of people in an organization. A number of management tools are used to channelize the behavior of people in a desired way. Subcultures and subsystems of values and assumptions, which may be based on departmentalization, activity centers, or geographical locations, provide meaning to the interest of localized, specific groups of people within the macro organization. Organizational culture defines some guidelines to control the behavior. Two of these are social norms and shared values. Social norms are the standards that a group uses for appropriate and inappropriate values, beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. These standards may be explicit or implicit. Norms can be categorized as peripheral norms. They are general expectations that make interactions easier and more pleasant. Relevant norms and pivotal norms. include behaviors that are important to group functioning. Violation of these norms often result in non-inclusion in important group functions and activities. Shared values are the explicit or implicit fundamental beliefs, concepts, and principles that underlie the culture of an organization and which guide decisions and behavior of its employees, management, and members. There are some myths about organizational culture. We will discuss a few of them. Myth number 1. Many think that organizational culture is same as organizational climate. However, culture is a macro phenomena that reflects the patterns of beliefs, assumptions, values, and behaviors, and climate is a micro phenomena that reflects the current situations in organization. Myth number 2. Some think that organization is same as groupthink. Culture refers to shared assumptions and beliefs, whereas groupthink is a type of thought within a deeply cohesive in-group whose members try to minimize conflict and reach consensus without critically testing, analyzing, and evaluating ideas. Myth number 3. Some people also think that culture is same as the organization. Culture is a result of sustained interaction among people in organization. Myth number 4. A few people think that culture is a social structure. Social structure is an arrangement in which people interact openly, but culture operates on a system of unseen, abstract, and emotionally loaded forms. Though culture is seen as an asset to the organization, it can also be a liability. It can create barriers to change, diversity, and expansion through mergers and acquisitions. When business environment is dynamic, an organization needs to move ahead. It has to do away with its old culture, and considering that cultures are not easy to change, it can create problems for the organization. An established culture can also be a liability when it eliminates the distinctive strengths that employees of different background bring to the organization. Whenever two companies merge, cultural clashes are inevitable. The differences in cultures of the merging organizations can create problems for the new entity. Now let's see how much you have understood till now. State whether the following statements are true or false. Power culture is often referred to as bureaucracy. True or false? False. Culture provides justification of employee behavior. True or false? True. Social norm is simply a behavioral expectation. True or false? True. Organizational culture often acts as a barrier to change. True or false? True. Employees are considered to be assets for the organization. An organization believes that every employee understands both short and long-term missions of the organization, and this motivates them to do better. Employee perceptions of work circumstances, workforce diversity, and other measures of human assets are the non-financial measures of business performance. Management considers expenditures on individual skill development and training of employees as an investment. Self-knowledge and personal growth are officially recognized as important elements in the improvement of management skills and the success of the organization. The human resource managers are involved actively in developing business strategies with line managers. Now let us quickly go through the main points of the presentation. Organizational culture performs a number of functions within an organization. Culture legitimates the structure of authority and organization that control activities within the organization. Organizational culture also acts as a barrier to change, diversity, and mergers and acquisitions.